find ourselves standing at a crossroads. Crossroads between the old world and the new. I don't necessarily mean that in regards to our living history that we are interpreting up on this stage tonight. I mean the old world and the new, as in 1917 and the real current year, 2017.
The stamp is still wrong.
I say that because we're on this stage to present a legacy. The legacy of the Cimarron and Northwestern Railway. More specifically, the legacy of the people. The people that lived here, died here, worked here, struggled here, succeeded here. And as much as we've fictionalized some of the details, there's no historical record of labor action on the Cimarron and Northwestern Railway. We hope we're doing this legacy dignity. Treating it with the respect that I want my legacy to be treated with 100 years from now. We want to treat this legacy with respect because it's still with us today. Head down south in this canyon. There are sections where you can see a big old mound, big berm, running through the canyon floor, 12 feet high in some places. That is the original rail bed that the Cimarron and Northwestern ran on over a century ago. We still see it with us today. In the morning, when we have a little bit more light, you can see a little better. I want you to look at the hills around us and notice there's not much old growth timber in this part of the world. At its peak, the Cimarron and Northwestern and Continental Tire and Lumber Company were clear-cutting these hills, pulling out all the timber for profit. And we still see the mark that left on the environment today. And down south, even noticeable on y'all's maps, I want you to pay attention to the course of the North Poneal. Because there's a section where instead of taking its normal, meandering, riverly course, it cuts a straight line, runs parallel to that rail bed. Because a century ago, when they were surveying the original route for the Cimarron and Northwestern, they decided, let's do the easy thing, the lazy thing. Instead of dealing with building the bridge, building trestles, navigating stream crossings, they decided, let's just reroute an entire river. We still see the impact that left on this watershed today. So I say all this because as much as we want to treat this legacy with respect and with dignity, history isn't always pretty. That legacy gets a little bit messy sometimes. So with that in mind, I have something that I'd like each and every one of y'all to do. Two things, in fact. First thing I'd like y'all to do for me, while you're out here, I want you to pay attention. Not necessarily to the weird guy in the funny hat that keeps trying to gaslight you into thinking it's 1917. I can tell y'all are dozing off. It's all right. I understand. I want you to pay attention to what's going on around you. I want you to pay attention because you are in some of the most beautiful land you will ever see. Suffused with some of the richest history you could ever hope to learn about, making some of the best memories of your life. So as you finish out your trek, when it feels that it's at its most grueling, that you can't take another step, that you can sit down right there and quit, I want you to look up. Look up and notice the hills around you. Pay attention to the kind of trees that are on them. See if you see that rail bed. I want you to take a snapshot of that and hold that memory right in your heart. Because the memories you're making out here will stick with you forever. It'll change your life. Now, the second thing I'd like for y'all to do for me, as y'all hike out of here, as you leave the land we know as Philmont, return to the land that you call home, I want you to think about your legacy. The mark that each and every one of you, individually, are going to make on the world. Something as small as carrying something heavy out of your friend's pack when the going gets rough. Something as large as being president one day, or rerouting an entire river. Whatever that legacy is, I want you to think hard about it. I just talked at length about the environmental impact the legacy of the Cimarron and Northwestern left. So I'd like for y'all to think about the legacy you're going to leave on the land around you. On the land we know as Philmont, on the land you know as home. There's a quote I heard a couple years back that changed the way I think about this land that I'd like to share with y'all. We don't inherit the land from the people that came before us. We're stewards for the people that'll come after us. So I'd like for you to chew on that quote for me as you hike on out of here. Because the land that we know as Philmont, the land that you know as home, will be here a whole lot longer than any of us. It'll be here a whole lot longer than what we know as Philmont, or what you know as home. So as you finish out your trek, think about the mark you're going to leave on the world around you. I want each and every one of you, staff included, to think about your legacy. Whatever that legacy ends up being, I want each and every one of you to make sure that it's a damn good one. Now that does bring us to the end of our main campfire program. We're going to close this campfire program the same way we close all campfire programs here at Philmont Scout Ranch.